Hey, Honesties. Welcome back to another episode of Honesty the Podcast, where I keep it raw, I keep it real, I keep it risky. I'm your host, Zena, aka Top Tier Z. And today I have a special guest with me. He's no stranger to pardon. He's a father, he's a musician, he's a philanthropist, and he's an author. Welcome, Ace Clark.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Thank
you.
you for being here in a good suit.
I mean, you got to dress up, you got to come outside, right? We outside.
We outside.
outside.
You look very sophisticated and spliffy. I love it. I look a little rumpled, but this is the style, all right? So just flow with me. How's your day?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. It was a little rainy outside, a little bit of traffic, but we in New York.
Yeah, we here.
We here.
He's so positive. He's inspiring me to be. This is going to be a very positive, inspirational, and maybe a little toxic episode. Because what is life if you're not a little toxic? Just a little bit. All right.
I like that.
We're going to get into my fast five. I ask you 5 questions of this or that. You give your response, and I'll see how I want to move on.
Ooh, let's go.
You ready? All right. Would you rather have a Philly cheesesteak or a cheeseburger?
Philly cheesesteak.
Why? You love a steak. You just said that.
I love steak. Philly's the second best place after Brooklyn. And because Black Thought's my favorite rapper. Iverson's my favorite ball player. So we got to support Philly.
Okay.
And plus, when the grease is in the bag, you know it's about to be good.
I've never had a Philly cheesesteak from Philly, so
Missing out.
So I've been told.
Yo, Max, I need a promo deal. Max, I need some free cheesesteaks. I've been telling everybody about Max's.
In Philly?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, I'm vegan, so I would never.
You gotta find like a vegan Philly.
Oh, I make that. I can do that myself.
Like mushroom?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Mhm.
When it comes to music, would you rather perform a cappella or with an instrumental?
With a band.
Ooh.
So I perform actually with bands. I'm like a modern day roots crew.
Mhm.
So shout out to Black Thought again. But we gotta have, a cappella. I gotta show you my voice. I don't gotta rap over the track. I got a lot of energy I gotta show off.
Yes, and I love a live instrument.
Mhm.
Like there's just nothing like it.
Musicality is important.
I agree. Tell the people. Tell the drill rappers. Let me stop.
Nah, watch. You're gonna see some drill rappers have a band soon. Watch. Somebody gonna catch up to the trend and put it together.
I would love to see that. Like, I'm
It's
actually
coming.
looking forward to that.
It's coming, watch.
I'm gonna put this as a clip so they can know what I want to hear. They gotta start making music that I want to hear.
It's crazy right now. We're gonna talk about that though.
We will. We will. Would you rather a pause button on your life or a rewind button?
A pause button.
Why?
I feel like we don't take in things enough.
Mhm.
Like you can't change the past.
Mhm.
And if you could, it would change who you are today. So I'd rather go with the pause button and just reevaluate, see where I'm at, see how I can move forward.
I like that. A lot of us like instant gratification, so it's like go, go, go.
Mhm.
Never stop.
Sometimes slowing down bring you so many things that you never saw was right in front of you.
Yeah. It's a lot of I have nothing else to say on that. Would you rather this is so like if you're watching, you already know what his answer is going to be, but this is on my outline before I saw you. So, do you prefer to dress sophisticated or casual?
It's tricky. If you catch me like doing laundry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a sweatsuit, I'm in like a t-shirt. Preferably I like to be naked at all times.
Same.
You know the vibes. Come on, you know the vibes. Preferably we don't like clothes over here.
No.
But if we have to wear clothes, I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna show you that I got like a little flavor. I got a suit,
Mhm.
and I got lots of them. So I like to just like go in between them and showcase the collection.
Okay, Mr. Suited and Booted.
Suited and booted.
You know, I got one suit.
Nah.
That I wear.
Shout out Suit Supply, my man Calvin. He always bless me with the premium suits.
Ooh.
Yeah, Calvin is the man. Yo, go check my man out.
You be getting them tailored and stuff?
Yeah, everything's custom to my body.
Okay.
Yeah, so Calvin,
Fancy.
appreciate you, bro.
When it comes to companionship, would you rather a relationship or single life?
I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm a sucker for love. I believe that partnership brings you so many things.
Mhm.
And then out here in the streets. So
No.
I'm good. Only thing open at 2 a.m. is legs in hospitals. And and I'm good. So for me, like commitment is important. Stability is important. So
Mhm.
finding people that are your tribe and sticking with them.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I completely agree. You mentioned, I'm ready. You're hopeless romantic, right? Pretty much. With that and being in a relationship comes a lot of vulnerability.
Mhm.
You have to be vulnerable in order for it to work, right? So I want to know, As a man, how do you feel like you guys can create a safe space to allow yourself to be vulnerable, not just in relationships, but also with your friends? Because I know black men, especially, y'all don't really talk about much. Y'all are not vulnerable with anyone, maybe with God, but tell me, how do you think y'all can create that safe space?
I think it starts with being honest about who you are. So if you show people kind of what you're living, what you're going through, they feel like they're not alone, and people will talk to you about stuff. Like some of my friends, the first time they see me cry was when my dad died a couple years ago. And I know for some of my friends, they never seen me like that.
Yeah.
But now that some of my friends have seen me cry and go through certain things, they look at me like, yo, let me tell you about this thing I'm going through. Maybe you can give me some advice. Yo, I seen you in this low point. How'd you come out of this low point? So when you kind of showcase your life for people in a way where it's like real and authentic, and you just be who you are, people will like gravitate toward that.
I do want to ask you, when you were like grieving and being vulnerable, were your friends like comforted? Like, because as women, I can only speak from my experience. I'm a very nurturing person, right? So like, if my friends are going through any hardship, I send them a lot of love, lots of affection. Like, were your male friends able to comfort you in a way where you felt like this is what I needed? Like, my tribe is behind me and so forth.
So I'm so blessed. I have a beautiful tribe of male friends. Shout out to like Ngozi or Jared or Future or Jove.
Hold on, you're friends with Pluto? Future?
Maybe not that one, but I got a couple of friends who like are like brothers, and they nurture me, they pour into me, they tell me things that I need to hear. They're honest, they're open, and that has always allowed me to be like my best version of me. They tell me like when I'm slipping, they tell me that they're inspired by me, so it makes me feel like I have to be at a certain standard of my life because people are watching. So I've been blessed to have a brotherhood that we hold each other up. The Jay-Z line is, no one will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. We all hold each other up. And when my dad passed away, like my Nigerian friend, the first thing he did was cook me some like rice called concoction rice with like fish, and he made sure I was eating. He was like, you gotta eat. And my other homeboy, he was calling my other homeboys, yo, show up for Ace. Let's go do something. Let's go,
I'm about to cry.
So I got super blessed to have friends that were checking other friends and calling other friends and let's go pull up on them. And they were all at my dad's funeral. My best friend spoke at my dad's funeral. He did the eulogy.
Wow.
So
because you couldn't do it?
I didn't want to do it. He wrote it.
Okay.
He wrote it from just knowing what he knows about my family. He didn't even know my dad. My 6th grade math teacher was the pastor at the funeral. So people just showed up as my village, and that made the experience so much more easy to deal with. My daughter saw me cry for the first time.
Really?
And it opened up.
How old is she?
She's 6.
Okay.
But it opened up, me understanding that I need to show all these feelings, and I need to be as open and real, as honest as possible, so she knows what to look for in her future partners.
That's a fact.
So my friends helped me be me, and in my friends helping me be me, it helped me show up for my daughter, and it just all trickles down.
Yeah. No, that's true. And also, like, when you show the emotion to your kids, it humanizes you, right? Because, like, a lot of kids look at us to be superheroes, kind of like my mom, my dad, they're unstoppable. Like, nothing can break them. But it's like you show vulnerability, you open up, and they get to relate, right? And I feel like that also opens up you guys' relationship, as you said. But you talk about a lot of, here's my toxic self, a lot of, like, support and vulnerability from your friends, right? What is that like in relationships? Because I hear a lot of men say like they don't like being vulnerable with women, or it's difficult because whenever the woman is mad at them, they throw things back in their face, or they invalidate their feelings. Like, has that been an experience for you? You have a story you want to tell me about that?
I've been on both sides. So I've been on the side of, you tell people your fears, your things you're scared of, the things you're not living up to. And that's why you'll never be this, and you'll never do that, and you can't be this, and you should just get a regular job, and who are you to have these big dreams? And I've heard that. But I've also heard, I know what season you're in. You're in a season of building, and let me plant with you. So I've been on both sides. And I think the biggest thing you can do is set boundaries early, to know what you will take from a person, because people only do what you allow them to do in your life.
That's a fact. Say that again. Say that for the people in the back, for real.
People only allow you to do what you allow them to do in your life. So don't let people play in your face, because they'll think they can always play in your face.
Yeah.
And once you do that, no matter what relationship it is, people will know how to like navigate with you, and you know how to navigate with them. So that's what it comes down to.
Boundaries. Listen, I just learned how to be vulnerable.
You in therapy?
but it was before therapy. It
Okay.
took like a really bad ending of a relationship for me to be like, whoa, like you need to like open up, like I was like kept a guard up because I felt like it gave me the one up.
Mhm.
I've never been heartbroken. So it was like, as long as I control my emotions and my feelings and I'm not too open and vulnerable, then I'll never get heartbroken.
Well, when you playing defense, sometimes you lose out on the blessing.
I know.
Because if you got your guard up and everything's a war, you in a battlefield all by yourself. The other person's not in a war.
That's what happened. And I was like, okay, girl. Vulnerability is not weakness. And it's, using your discernment, knowing like what you can share and can't share. And like you said, the boundaries. So your girl has come a long way. Okay.
Nah, yo, clap for you. Clap for you. We proud of you. Yeah. We proud of you.
I appreciate you.
Sometimes you got to clap for you,
I know. Speaking of clap for me, I want to clap for you because I see Dear Black Boy on the table. Can you hold that up? Can I see?
You can touch it first.
I do want to touch it.
Yeah.
And I want them to see it too.
Ooh,
okay.
that look good on camera.
Right? Dear Black Boy, 75 Affirmations to Get You Through by Ace Clark. He's an author, y'all. He's an author.
Oh, man.
I do want you, sell me a book. Tell me, why should I buy this book? And what inspired you to write this book?
First of all,
wait, can I just read one before you go? Like, I'm just going to open a page and read one affirmation.
Ooh, we love this.
Ooh, Dear Black Boy, you aren't always going to be around people who share the same vision. That's okay. All right. Sell it to me.
No need to sell it. I'll put it to you like this. Every person, no matter where they come from, no matter what they're about, they go through things. Sometimes the words are not there from the people you need it from the most.
Yes.
So I just wanted to put the words in a place where if you can't find the people of the tribe, it's here for you, because there was a time in my life when the words weren't there for me from people I needed it from. And I made something I couldn't find. So I couldn't find it on Google. I couldn't find affirmations everywhere else. So when you can't find stuff, you have to create it. And now that it's created, I hope this, comes into your life, whether you get it for free, whether you buy it, whether it's a gift, so that, you have the words you need during the times you need them.
I love this. It's funny because even though it reads Dear Black Boy, I feel like you're talking to Black men in general, right? Like there's no age restriction, right? As long as you are a man who kind of don't have an outlet, this can be an outlet. And I don't think people realize how powerful affirmations are. Like, do you like speak to yourself in the mirror?
The tongue is mighty powerful.
Yeah.
I speak to myself every day, and sometimes not in a nice way. So that's what, go ahead.
No, that's a fact. Like, that is something I am still learning. Like, it will be the smallest thing. I'm so stupid. And it's like, why are you talking about yourself like that?
I've called myself a piece of shit like last week. And you have to remind yourself, like, the things you say become your reality. Your world is painted by your tongue, by your thoughts, by the people you allow around you, by their thoughts.
Yeah.
All that shit is connected.
I want to read another affirmation.
Please, go ahead.
And I want you to tell me what inspired that one. Wow. Dear Black Boy, you've already won. Keep winning.
Sometimes you're on the journey. You don't even realize that you have everything you've ever wanted. When I was 18, 17, 19, young, I can't wait to just have a car. I just don't want to ride the train anymore. Then you're 26, you have a car, you have a place, and you're like, well, I don't have this. And you start looking at all the things you don't have.
Are you complaining about the car that
you like you're driving a Ford Fusion and you're like, well, it's not a BMW. But 18-year-old, you would be so proud that you even have a car. What? We got a car? So when you start to like hit that pause button and reflect on life.
Bring it back full circle, okay?
When you hit that pause button and look at what you have. Like, you had way more than the old you would have ever thought you would have. So you already won, because there's other seasons you were in. You got to be thankful for the season you're currently in, even if it has a storm happening.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of us, when you're weathering that storm, like, it's so hard to like be grateful, right? Or to like reflect on what you do have. Like, a lot of us tend to focus on the negative, myself included. Like, it's so easy. And like, we celebrate, but not for a very short period of time, right? Like, you celebrate, like, yeah, I'm happy I got this. And then you kind of forget about it. Or you're so focused on what's next, you don't really get the time to take in what you do have, as you said, and like to express gratitude. And, like, when you're grateful, that's how things keep coming to you.
Abundance comes in, just being grateful.
Yeah.
I went to Niagara Falls last year,
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of helped me weather like a storm that like I think I'm still living in.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to Niagara Falls. You were in the poncho and you're getting soaked.
Yes.
But you're getting soaked and it feels like a storm. It feels like you're caught in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
But you're enjoying it because you're supposed to come there and enjoy the falls.
Mm-hmm.
So I left Niagara Falls with the thought process of like, it's all perspective because you're getting wet the same way you would get wet in the rain or a storm. But when you get caught in the rain, oh shit, I'm getting wet. My hair's getting messed up. My clothes. When you're at Niagara Falls, you're getting wet. You're smiling. You're taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
That's the same water.
That is true. Water's water.
Water's water.
Still wearing your raincoat or your poncho.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is the intention,
Mhm.
right? Like you go to the falls because you want to
Mhm.
experience this. You want the pictures. You wanted that water to fall on you. The rain, you don't really
Same thing in
control
life.
that.
Nope. Here's why it's the same.
Why?
Because you ask God for, give me strength.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need muscles to be tested to build strength.
Mm-hmm.
You ask God for focus. He has to move things out the way to give you focus.
Yeah.
So sometimes he has to bring you through the rain. You ask for this. You say you want to get to this next level in your life, this next part of your life, this next place in your life. He's just giving you the water to wash away what's unnecessary so things can grow where they need to grow.
Yeah.
So it's the same water. It's just all perspective.
I like how you use the rain as the analogy for like the struggle or like the hard times. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not using it in the literal form, it's figuratively. He's a writer. Because not many people may get that. They might be like, we're talking about rain, he talking about weathering. You know what I mean? It's like, you really got to pay attention. I love, this is page 34 and I opened it and I had to stay on this page because I love this one. Dear Black boy, comparison is a thief of joy. You don't need what's theirs. Tell them again.
Come on.
Because
we've all been a victim.
What is life if you're not comparing, right? Like that's how a lot of people look at things. It's like, oh, they have that or they're doing this.
What's the saying? Keeping up with the
Joneses, yeah.
So everybody's always looking over. You get your plate of food at the table. What you got, babe? What you got? You're looking over the next person's plate. But you already ordered. You should be complacent and okay with what you ordered. You ordered that.
Yeah.
But no, what you got? Oh, you got that? Let me get some of that. We always want what everybody else has until we realize that what we have is enough.
And also just realizing like we all have different things that we contribute, to our group settings, to life in general, right? Like learn to appreciate what you bring to the table because not everyone bring the same thing for a reason. Like life would be so boring if we were all the same and we all had the same things to offer.
Think about school uniform. Like if we all look the same in a school uniform, it's like, we all look the same. But
what is the fun?
Think about Will Smith, Fresh Prince. He turned his jacket inside out and he flipped his hat backwards and moved his tie over. Like he realized that, standing out is the way to live life. Look how proud he was of like his creation and who he wanted to become.
Yeah.
He didn't care to fit in. You live your best life when you don't care how you line up with others.
That is a fact. I love that you said like you live the best life when you're not worrying about what others think about you, right? Because the way I live my life, it's like there is nothing you can tell me about myself that I already don't know about myself, right? And I think a big part of that is like accepting my flaws and like being real and honest with myself. Like, yeah, I think I'm perfect, duh. But at the same time, all right, no one's perfect. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I able to embrace that is because I've acknowledge my flaws. I work on them, right? So it's like your opinion of me doesn't really matter to me because I'm content with whether it's my past, whether it's my present, it's like I've accepted that. I know who I am. So I'm not really concerned. And that's I don't really pay too much attention to what anyone else have going on because I'm like, I need to pour into myself. Because if I don't, then who's going to do it, right? So some of us spend so much time like focusing on what everyone else have. It kind of takes away from the focus of self.
You're here for a reason. Like everybody's put here for an intentional purpose. Like we all have a mission to get to, like a point A and a point B. And everything else is the noise in between.
Yeah.
So like when you understand that like I'm here to do a certain thing, I'm here to be a light, I'm here to be of service, I'm here to pour into somebody else's life. You stop looking at like, how to talk about somebody else's life. Because, like you're not here for that. Like once you know what you're here for, everything else is like white noise. It's not even applying to like the life I'm trying to live. Exactly. I'm on a whole different frequency, a whole different station, you know?
Facts. If it doesn't fly, if it doesn't align,
if it don't apply, let it fly.
Yes, that's it.
we was almost there. We was almost in sync.
Took a little support. I appreciate
Work in progress. When I come back on the next episode, we gonna get it right.
And I'm gonna rap for you when you come back. God, let me hold myself accountable.
Yo, y'all heard that, right? She gonna rap.
No, don't hold me accountable.
No, we heard that.
Would you say you consider yourself to be like a voice for Black men? There's a sigh.
I would say I'm one of the voices for my community, but there's so many great ones. And we're all necessary, all needed. You need different perspectives.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the voices people can come to. I'm one of the people in the village you can definitely call on, but there's many great ones.
I do want to ask you, what have you gone through in life that you feel like makes you, what's the word I'm looking for? Makes you like credible to be a representative in the community?
One, I think everybody's credible to tell their story and their truth in the community.
So you think just being able to tell your truth,
that's one part. The other part of it is like we all have, ways of looking at the world, and you'll find people that agree and disagree. But the thing that happens is dialogue. If you don't agree with me and I don't agree with you, now a conversation happens. And it's not about I'm right, you're wrong, but it's about let me understand your perspective and you understand my perspective, and maybe we walk away with something that makes us both a little bit better than we were when we started the conversation. The third thing that I think, makes my voice a credible voice is the fact that like I'm brave enough to speak on things and bring things to the forefront that other people may not want to bring to the forefront, because uncomfortable conversations are how we grow. Like
what? What are some examples? Those like uncomfortable conversations that you're comfortable with having, but most people aren't.
Just look at a black man trying to have all his feelings and being fully aware of where he falls in his emotional spectrum. Like, we are told, suck it up, be a man.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean? Man, woman, you have the same emotional feelings. Nipsey Hussle has a saying. He's like, I went through every single emotion trying to get famous. I went through this, I went through that. And if he didn't say that out loud, you wouldn't assume he had all those feelings.
Yeah,
so if we want less assumption, we have to identify and tell people like what's going on. So it's up to us to start the conversation, to bring people into the conversation, to get people to like drop the machismo and the macho and kind of just be like, yo, I feel that too. Yeah. The more honest we are, the more honest people are with us.
I feel like this is your theme. I'm about to name this episode honestly though. It's gonna be something around there, because I've noticed, and I guess that's how you live your life, right? It's like you seem very open, you seem very willing to share, and I guess it's in this, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of like if I tell my story, then you can tell yours, right? Because a lot of us, we're not comfortable with sharing things unless if we hear someone else share it or we can relate to it.
I'm just one story. There's parts of my story you'll connect to, there's parts you won't. You'll tell your story. The same will happen and rinse and repeat. But we have to start at a place of like, I'll share a little bit with you in hopes that it makes you a little bit more comfortable, like an icebreaker to share a little bit with me. Yeah. And the more we talk, the more conversation will grow. Like family grows and people grow closer just by being able to have a place to speak.
Even like when I do podcast screening sometimes, as you know, my producer does it majority of the time, but sometimes I do it with like women I bring on and we're on the phone for like 3 hours. And it's like, here I am thinking I'm just asking you questions, trying to fill you out. But then I share something or they mention something and I open up and now they feel so comfortable, and I'm like, damn, this is the whole podcast episode right here.
Has it been therapy for you too? Because you opened up and sometimes you didn't even know you need to talk about that.
Yeah.
You thought you closed that wound. You thought you already were past that. It's like the Fantasia song Truth Is. She see the dude in the street and she was like, I didn't even know that I wasn't over you till I seen you. That's how certain conversations are. They open the wound and you come to a new awakening or a new part of you just by having a conversation.
And that's why I like plotting too, honestly speaking, because it's like, I always say it is my therapy because I get to reflect on a lot of things just through conversation. Or like sometimes I'll hear myself say things. I'm like, damn, I've grown, because I don't really take the time to like recognize my growth and like be proud of myself for that. And a lot of times that happens through conversations, right? And that's why I don't like having the mundane, like regurgitating
Mm-hmm.
social media, pop culture conversations, because it's like, what's in there for me?
We're not really moving the needle.
That's my point
I got a
exactly.
question for you though. Like you
Yes,
kind of led me to ask you a question.
please do.
What's one affirmation that you would tell the younger you?
Ooh, that is a really good question. Okay, I'm gonna speak it in younger me version.
Okay.
Okay. Dear baby Z, you are enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is because I used to compare myself to people.
Mhm.
I don't have enough. I'm not that, this or
Mhm.
that, right? And I was always looking for more. And I think the older I have gotten and the more I've gotten to know myself, it's kind of like, you're enough. Like, trust that you are enough, right? And I'm just building that confidence of self also, because I think I've always been a confident person, but again, when I looked around me, especially coming from like, I wasn't born here. I moved to New York when I was 10. So it's like a whole new environment, not just of people, culture. And I felt a little lost. I wouldn't lie. Because I was like, damn, like, how do I fit in? I have this strong ass accent. No one understands me. Everyone's asking me 1,000 questions. And it's like, most times I just be like, I just want to be left alone. I just wasn't comfortable because I'm like,
And those were all your superpowers.
yeah, like that's what made me stand out. And it took growing up and like putting myself in different environments, diversifying my friendships, where I'm like, I bring things to the table that a lot of people don't. And that's just from being of a different culture.
And think about how that's going to inspire the people that come over too from your place.
Yeah.
Also, the people who come in contact with you, people that watch your pod, people that, meet you on the elevator.
Yeah.
They're all getting different versions and seasons of you that, depending on what energy you put out, they're affected. So now you have a responsibility and an obligation with everybody you come across to, operate in a certain way, because you're an example and you're a pillar.
That's exactly how I feel about it, to be quite honest with you. And I love the part where you say like, I want to be that inspiration for people coming from different countries. It just doesn't have to be the Caribbean. Like, shout out to St. Lucia. That's where I was born and raised, in case you guys don't know. But it's just like any culture, like a lot of us are so afraid to be different. And like you said, that's a superpower, right? And it's just like, I feel like once you find your tribe and you find people who accept you and people who are willing to learn about you, then you like discover the superpower in that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people, they don't speak because it's like, I don't know the language. I don't know if people are going to understand me, but it's like, how are you going to know until if you actually have those conversations, right? So I think it's just finding that tribe. Like, I don't think a lot of us realize the importance of community and, fostering real relationships.
That's the key to life. Life is relationships.
Yeah.
Life isn't money. Life isn't the material possessions. It's the people you come in contact with, the conversations you have, the way you make people feel, the way they make you feel, the give and take, the back and forth. That's the beautiful shit that makes life. Yeah. And everything else, it comes and it goes. It's seasonal. It's not going to really be fulfilling. Like, this is it. The meat and potatoes of life is these conversations.
Yeah.
Getting to know people that you didn't know 20 minutes ago, 5 hours ago, 5 years ago.
That's a fact.
That's life. A stranger today could be your husband, your wife, the person who officiates the wedding, person that closed the casket or carries the casket. It's just a game of interactions and finding the people that mesh well with you.
Yeah. That's a fact. And I do commend you because you're big on philanthropy and community. What inspired that for you?
I come from nothing. I come from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Roosevelt Projects. I come from a 7-sibling household with like no parents.
What do you mean?
My dad wasn't in the picture a lot, battling alcoholism. My mom wasn't in the picture a lot, my grandma raised me till I was 12. She passed away at 12. And then little big brother kicked in. and I was taking care of my siblings and supporting my siblings. And
Were you the oldest?
I'm the middle child,
Okay.
but
Oh,
I just
wow.
knew how to I just had a nurturing soul, and I knew we had to get it. Survival was on us. And coming from not having much, every time I got something, I said, there's people that don't have what I got right now. So when I wrote the book, the book's on sale at Barnes & Noble, but I've donated 1,000 copies up to this point to different schools in New York City. I've helped artists, by giving free beats away. I've supported people with free features musically. I've donated clothes. I've started clothing drives. I find ways to fund things in my community.
Wow.
And there's not a ton
Clap
of money
for you, because that is
Thank you.
a lot. Very selfless.
And there's not a ton of money. I'm not gonna lie and be like, yo, I'm rich, I got it. Half the time, it's like when you grow up and you and your boy, I both don't got it, but y'all split the bacon, egg, and cheese. That's how I treat my life today, because you can't take it with you. I never seen a Brinks truck follow the hearse. I never seen the U-Haul with your clothes and stuff follow the hearse.
Yeah.
You can't take it, and you don't know when you're gonna be here or when you're not gonna be here. So if you live of service every single day of your life, when your time goes, there's no questioning, what did I do? Was I decent? Was I good? Every day I'm of service. And whatever I have, we have.
Yeah.
Because it's not mine.
Yeah.
It was never mine. God continues to give me, and I'm continually abundantly blessed because he knows I'm going to give.
Wow.
So God loves a cheerful giver. I'm just doing my part.
I need to take that into consideration.
You can't wear all the clothes at once. You can't wear all the shoes at once.
No.
Literally, take inventory of your life and say, who needs what I have? Because I don't need it all. I have enough.
That's true. So do you feel like because you lacked, like you said, the parent structure, you kind of were like, you want to create something that you didn't have, as you mentioned earlier before, right? I do want to ask, how would you suggest everyone else build community? Because we live in neighborhoods, right?
Yep.
Some of us don't even know our neighbors. We don't speak to our neighbors. I've lived on the same block since I moved to New York, so to Brooklyn. So I say good morning to my neighbors. Being from the Caribbean, you see an elderly person walk by.
It's natural for you. It's culturally ingrained in you, but it's not here in New York City.
Yeah,
where people are like, well, if I talk to them, they might be weird. People have so many preconceived notions of people, and so many. Oh, I gotta be this way. I gotta be a shell. I gotta cover myself. That's not how you live.
Yeah.
The people that I was like, hey, what's going on? Some of those were my first jobs. Some of those were my first collaborations. Some of those were the ways I got free features from artists I couldn't afford naturally. Some of those were the ways I've gotten to rooms I never would have got into. I would tell people out there, have conversations, talk to strangers, be connected to the world, be present.
Yeah.
The anti-social media might have you believe that everything is Instagram and YouTube and all that. But I'm here to tell you, real life communication, conversation, just connecting with people in real time might change your life in ways you don't even imagine. And there's more good in the world. There's more humanity than there is pain. But it's all about if you want to go seek that. Yeah. So every day I seek conversation. I seek people. And people, they always come back with the same energy I give off. So I don't have too many days where somebody's bringing me some nonsense.
Yeah. I want to ask you because, T, shout out to my engineer, Tiana. You posted about small talk, right? Because I don't like small talk. It's just not my thing at all. And so I find myself, I guess, shutting down a lot of conversations or not really being interested in them because I think they're small talk. And I'm like, where is this going? This is a waste of my time, right? Which is ignorant on my part. I can be honest about that. I'll take accountability because you never know where something might lead.
Where can you take the conversation? So there you go. For me, if somebody asks me a small question, I'm asking follow-ups. So if I ask you, how's your day? I'm also going to ask you, what made your day good or bad? Yeah. The next question is important because if I just leave it at your day is good, okay, that's nothing. But why was your day bad? Oh, that happened? Oh, that happened? That happened to me too. Yo, this happened. Yo, I came across that too. Now we 30 minutes in and you're learning my thought process. I'm learning your thought process. The conversation is moving and grooving.
It's flowing.
And now you left yo, that person heard me today. Sometimes we just want to be heard.
Yeah.
You could take somebody off the edge right now just by hearing them.
Yeah.
And not just like saying you're listening, but actually listening and actually asking questions and actually being critical in the thinking process to like push the conversation.
Yeah.
Like we drivers every day, we can choose to drive a conversation or park the car.
I be parking that shit. Stop like one hand park,
I mean, but you park the car, there's no movement, there's no motion.
Exactly.
And life's all about motion. We looking to either progress, we're never looking to go backwards. But sometimes the car's just stuck. And we have the energy right here to put the fuel in the car. Exactly. We are the fuel. The conversation is the fuel.
Something Tiana said that was important is the intent behind the conversation, right? Like if they're genuine, then why am I parking that car? And it took me a while to realize that. I was, like I said, this podcast is a reflection. It's a lot of therapy going on. And I'm like, I'm just shutting people down. I don't know who they are, what they have to offer, what can come out of this conversation. And it's kind of like I'm probably shutting down opportunities for myself because I think it's small talk. Like I think I'm such a direct person that I expect the same from people. And I've learned over time, like we said before, like everyone brings something different to the table. And maybe who's to say that I want directness all the time?
But God also could be ministering to you through people. Sometimes it's not an opportunity to gain something tangible, but maybe an opportunity to step back and like a message is being brought to you.
Yeah.
Or maybe an opportunity for you to realize where you are, a gratitude moment. Yeah. Like people bring you things in all different types of packages and it's up for you to, you know, allow people to show you what they came to show you.
Yeah.
So in every conversation, like sometimes people want to talk, I just let them talk because it's not going to hurt me to give them 10 minutes, 5 minutes. There's something in that for me too. And I think I go into everything looking for discovery. What is here for me? I live by a saying that everything is happening for me. Nothing is happening to me.
To me, yeah.
Nothing is happening to me.
I love that.
And I mean that with like the most conviction possible. Like even the bad things are preparing me for something that's meant to happen in my life. And the life that is meant for me is already written. It's already predestined. It's already mine.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the motions to make sure that the story is told the way it's supposed to be told.
I like
so
that.
Everything is happening for you. Nothing is happening to you. So all those conversations are happening for you. Whether that's for you to get, you know, the meal that you need to get out of that, or the opportunity, or the rediscovery, or the reflection.
Or to just be a listener in someone's life, as you said.
You might save somebody.
Yeah.
Some people walk down just knowing anybody was listening.
Yeah.
And I've been alone in a crowded room plenty of times. So some people have saved me, they don't even know they saved me.
And you know what that feels like. So it's kind of like you want to reciprocate that to others.
Absolutely.
I want to get into your music because why are you laughing?
Yeah. First, you got to rap. You said something about rapping. You know.
I said next time. Do not put me on the spot, sir. I am not a lyricist.
Hey, you from Brooklyn. You from Brooklyn.
I'm from St. Lucia.
From Brooklyn. once you do a decade, once you're a part of the all-decade team, you know.
I actually recently heard that. I was all right. I need to start claiming Brooklyn.
Yeah, you wildin'. They put you in the best place on the planet. You go anywhere in the world, you say Brooklyn. You in Germany, oh Brooklyn. You in Cambodia, you say Brooklyn. You know, like some people might not have heard of St. Lucia. No, they heard of Brooklyn.
That's a fact. That was so true.
They heard of Brooklyn. So, you know.
Someone told me, they're like, when an American asks you where you're from, we're talking about your borough. We don't care about your country.
We're talking about your borough.
I was like, all right, I guess I'll take that into consideration.
No, you are from Brooklyn.
I am from Brooklyn, but I'm not rapping Brooklyn today. Next time you come on the show. But tell me about your music. What style of music would you say? What genre? And what inspires?
I make music for the soul.
Ooh.
That could be neo soul, hip hop. That could be me singing gospel. That can be just, you know, any way that I'm giving it to you. It's gonna be soulful. It's gonna be honest. It's gonna be something that you can navigate your life with. There's going to be like lessons and blessings in there. There's going to be words of empowerment. There's going to be real stories you can relate to, whether I'm making a song about a cheater, like Speculate or something like that, or maybe a song about a girl that you shouldn't be into, or, you know, I got good songs. I got songs that tell ugly stories. I got songs that tell my stories, tell your stories.
And hold on, you rap and sing?
I rap, sing, produce. So every beat I've ever rapped on pretty much, on the last 2 albums I produced.
Oh.
The first couple of albums I had friends producing. I sing pretty much all the hooks. I write everything. I rap. I write for others.
Okay, talent.
Write for others.
Write my rap for me then. Let me-
No. You don't need no ghostwriter. I write for singers. I've written house music, R&B, hip hop, country records. Yeah.
Wait, that's a lot of range and versatility. Like how does this all come to you? I'm so intrigued, honestly speaking, because most people they're like they box themselves in, right? Do you just keep an open mind and explore? Like what inspires you to create all these different genres of music and beats?
They're all the same. Everybody has a story. A country song, you change the beat. That could be an R&B record. It's just about how they sing it, but it's the same. Like, think about R&B. It sounds just like gospel.
Yeah.
If you take like the Commission or these big groups, gospel groups,
Yeah.
they all probably inspired the R&B records you heard. You watch R&B Money with Tank or whatever, and all the singers come up there and they mention gospel records and they mention gospel singers and they mention other genres because R&B and gospel are like that. Country is like that. We were blues singers. Look at like B.B. King and all these. We were blues singers.
Fact. Yeah.
You look at classical music, you got John Baptiste showing you how you slow down a classical record to make, like bebop and all these different genres.
Oh, that should be so dope. I love classical music.
So all that music is connected. So it's just all about telling stories at different tempos, different speeds, different accents. Like literally, you got Shaggy who said he re-impersonated a drill sergeant to make his voice. He talks regular, but that he said he got that from like a drill.
Watch your mom before you turn into a kid.
Yeah, see,
to be a true player, if you know how to play. If it's that's all I know.
Never admit to her heard what she say. No way.
Yeah.
But he literally was he was in the army and he was just copying the military sounds to make his sound. So music is everywhere. And like he's an R&B dude. He's doing rock stuff. He had a joint with Sting before. So you'll find that music is just wherever you want to take it, you can take it. It's so free and so open.
I love that. And I feel like a big part of the music you produce is how you want people to feel, right? Because when you are focused on a feeling, it's so much easier to convey that. And like I feel like that's when you said you make music for the soul. So that's when you really like tell those stories that's gonna move people or gonna inspire people, right?
You catch on quick because you keep going back to like I said, I didn't have a lot. So everything is of service. How are we ministering to people?
Yeah.
Everything is about what you leave behind. You're not going to be here forever. So your messaging will be.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Michael Jackson ain't been here in a decade pretty much.
Don't remind me because I'm going to cry.
Nah, for real. We haven't had Whitney in forever.
Yeah.
We haven't had Phyllis Hyman in forever. You can name people for days. We haven't had Kurt Cobain, all these people over, different genres. But the music's still here.
Yeah.
And kids are born every day into these musics, into these songs. And people know who Stevie Wonder is, who are 6 years old. People know Stevie Wonder who's 76 years old. So, like music will always be around. Bob Marley ain't been here in how long? But his music was a musical Bible.
Yeah.
He ministered peace and prosperity and hope. So when you are intentional about what you talk about and you understand that the stuff will stay, it's like the internet. It never forgets. Music is always going to be here.
Yeah.
You got to be mindful of what you say.
Yeah.
And if you know what you're saying, somebody will find it and it will lift them up the way it lifted you up making it.
I love that you went there because I did want to ask with like social media and music just influencing a lot of the younger generations. And a lot of it's not music for the soul. I'm just going to say that. Like, don't care how anyone feels about it. I'm not into the drill. I'm not into the let's shoot up and kill. I'm just not into that. It's not my steez. Because I feel like a lot of, especially young Black boys, they try to mirror that life. And it's kind of like you're running yourself to the gutter, right?
I watched it firsthand. I got 7 siblings. I grew up watching it all. I grew up in the projects. I've been to more funerals than graduations. I seen more pain than I seen happiness.
Yeah.
I seen literally 2 days ago, I'm on YouTube watching the news, and I seen people I grew up with getting 50 and 60 years and 80 years to life.
Yeah.
And they getting put in jail, put in a box. I got friends who just came home, and I DM one of them, and I'm like, "Yo, get back to making your music."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, you still remember me? You still care?" I'm like, "Bro, I've been waiting for you to get home. Get back to the music." When you see all these things happening around you, there's no coincidences. There's a reason that stuff is being heavily monetized right now. And the thing is, I don't. There's parts of it I don't shun and parts I shun. I want to see every Black boy, every Black man get his dollar.
Yeah.
So I want to see people get out the hood and change their circumstance and drive the car they always wanted and have the stuff they always wanted, but at what cost?
Yeah.
I don't want you shortening your life or shortening like your thought process because you think it's the only way to get on. And the labels play a part because if they show that all different types of music could have equal playing field,
Yeah.
then you'd hear all different types of people. You'd see like Lil Nas X Black Cowboy vibes. To me, that stuff is dope. To be able to say there's a black cowboy who was expressing himself or whatever, it's cool. Or like Lil Yachty when he came out. I spy with my little eye.
Damn, I can't even go there with you because I've never listened to y'all.
The thing is, there are people that have.
Yeah.
And they probably were inspired to make a record because they heard that record. So I want people to feel like inspired when they hear music, but understand the words in the music have so much power. So what you talk about becomes your reality.
Yeah.
So running down on ops, that's not really your reality. Like nobody's an op. Like we all have a equal right to live.
Yeah.
And nobody should take a life. So yeah, I want to see you shine and get your car, but I don't want to see nobody suffer for that. So at what cost? So I'm not an advocate of violence and the violent music, but I do want to see people express themselves. And if you have anger, express it in a different way, because there's so many ways we could take the conversation and make the music.
Yeah. I didn't finish asking the question, damn it. So you just be answering my question.
Nah, I mean, I kind of felt our frequency was already like vibrating. I felt like we was there.
We are there. I love the flow because I'm like, that was really good, honestly speaking. Because a lot of people, they like to mirror what they hear, right? Because they want to be cool. And I think this conversation just keeps on like going full circle. And I love, like, to me, that's some of the best podcast episodes for me when things just keep on coming back. Because it's like there's a theme, you know what I'm saying? And it really shows like who you are. Because a lot of people can just talk to talk. Like a lot of people be telling false stories and say that's not really you. So through your speech, it's like it always goes back to like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like who you are at your core.
I have a daughter. She's watching. I won't be here one day, but how the stories about me will be here. I could put on the front all day, but the stories about me will be here, and she's gonna hear about who her dad was.
Yeah,
and that's important. So if I live transparently and open and just truly who I am every day, I don't have to put on no front. My daughter's gonna always know who her dad was.
I like that we talk about our daughters, because I do want to ask, raising a daughter, right? Are you a single dad or
single dad?
Really? Shout out to you. You don't hear that often.
I'm a single dad. We co-parent. It's gotten easier over the years. It wasn't always easy, but my daughter can't tell like the good or bad days between us. She just knows love on both sides.
Yeah,
that's most important.
That is the most important. I do want to ask you, what would you suggest, not just to your daughter as she grows, but just to women in general, to like lighten up and like to become more comfortable in their femininity, so that men can be more vulnerable, be more open with them, one, and two, men can match that energy and show up in their healthy masculine energy. Like what are some ways you think women can lighten up?
I think it starts with both sides understanding it's shitty on both sides.
Yeah.
Like if you were to talk about the dating pool right now, you'd have the same approach as probably me about the dating pool. It's shitty on both sides. There's a lot of murky water.
Yeah.
So I think letting my daughter know straight up, and other women, like on both sides is bad. Like I got things I'm going through. Let me tell you what those things are. You got things you're going through. Tell me what those things are. If we put our cards on the table, you see I'm coming to you real, you coming to me raw. The conversation's always going to be authentic and real and transparent. But if you got a facade up and I got a facade and you got a wall up and I got a wall up, we're not moving anywhere. So I would say, if you want openness, show openness. And if you require openness. Actually meaning like put together places and paint, different things in your life to make people have to be accountable with you. So like if somebody says, I'm going to start a business, ask them about that business.
Yeah. What steps have you taken?
What have you done?
Yeah.
If your friend says, yo, I'm going to leave him. Oh, you still texting him? Like, call people out, because real friends will allow that and will, take that in and be like, yo, this person cares. And you do it in gentle ways to let people know I'm coming from this place. Explain your intention.
I was thinking that.
Explain your intention.
Intent. Yeah.
Because like sometimes we get in arguments and we think we're in a war. But it's just because we didn't know the other person's intent, why they asked that, why they said that, why they did that.
Yeah.
We made up our own theory in our head and we ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say be open-minded, be accountable, hold people accountable, and allow openness for conversations to naturally flow, and give people grace. Understand that everybody's not coming from a place of like, I'm against you. Every day I wake up, I say the world's not against me. Like, people wake up, yo, this shit's happening to me, and they did this to me, and fuck that. And there's all these things that like were against you. But that's only if you allow the world to be against you. If you come into it like the world's against me, the world's against you.
Exactly.
But if you are not a victim, you can't be victimized. So it starts with you.
That is, that's profound.
If I'm not a victim, how can you victimize? How can you do that? Like, it doesn't apply in my world.
Yeah. Wow. I'm stunned. I'm hardly ever speechless, but like, that's some real stuff. I can't.
I'm just being me, and I feel like, hopefully people out there understand, like, just be the best version of you every day. Today might be 10%, tomorrow might be 30.
Yeah.
Got 40 over here. Right there we already at like 80. You got 20 tomorrow, and that's how you get to the 100.
Yeah.
But just be the best you every day you can be. Give yourself grace.
And I love that you say that, because a lot of us, we want things in people that we don't possess in ourselves, right? Like, we want, I don't know. We want vulnerable people. We want someone who's honest with us, someone who's transparent. But like, we lie to ourselves every day. It's the easiest person to lie to, right? Like,
if you don't love yourself,
that's a fact. Yes, because when you love yourself, you're honest about, what's holding you back, what you can work on, and all these things. And I think a big part of it is realizing, like, men are going to blame women, women are going to blame men at the end of the day, right? And like you said, start with yourself. Like, that's where it begins. And I think it's really, as a woman, I know I asked you the question, but just like as I reflect, it's kind of like realizing who I am and what power I possess when I show up, as a soft, vulnerable woman. Like, when I'm in my masculine energy, it's just like, oh no, like, no one wants to
when
be
you
around
stomping
that.
with your Timbs, who want to be around that?
Exactly my point. Like, a man's not gonna feel comfortable opening up to me. Like, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice because you're so tough. The guard is up, and I can speak from experience, right? That anyone who's smart enough, anyone who's really trying to get to the depth of you, they're never gonna get there, because they realize their guard is up. So they're only gonna give you surface level. And it's like, you're yearning for that deep connection, like that vulnerability, but it's like, you're not even creating the open space for it. So how are you gonna receive it if there's no space for it?
We're all mirrors.
Yes.
So you gotta be a reflection of what you want people to be.
Yeah.
So you already on the same vibe. Like, we're here. Like, I feel like I know you 10 years already. We here.
Listen, it took me a while to get here, but
shout out to you again. Always celebrate those victories, and always remind yourself where you are, what you came from. And there's still work to do, but it's being done.
Yeah.
So, be graceful with yourself.
I always say I'm always going to be a work in progress. Because perfection doesn't exist, And when I say that, it's a matter of, it's not that I'm not working on the things that I know I should be working on, but it's that grace I give myself. Like, I allow myself to F up. I allow myself to regress, right? Like, and then I'm like, all right, what do I need to work on? Clearly, there are trials and tribulations, which is why I may go back to the energy and the attitude that I'm not the most proud of. But again, what is life without a test? Like,
progress not always linear. It's always gonna have, like, it's literally like when you go to the hospital and you see the heart joint go bloop bloop up, a flat line is dead. So if it was just like this, you dead.
Yeah.
But this and this and this and this and this, that's life.
That's the humanity.
That's life. You need the up, you need the down, you need the ebb, you need the flow. So every time you go into a stressful season, just ask yourself, what's in this for me? What is for me here?
That's what I'm going to start asking myself.
Life is an inventory lesson.
Listen, you sound like you have a lot of wisdom, very like emotionally intelligent. I do want to ask, like, if you were to ask like one of your most recent exes, like, what is it like dating you? And like, what kind of women do you date? Because someone of your caliber, I feel like, in your emotional intelligence, you have to have a woman who matches that energy, right? So if you don't pick right,
Nah, so it's interesting. I'd say dating me, you're dating an optimist all the time. Somebody who's always gonna be like, well, this, well, that, we have this option. There's always an option. If you don't like solutions, you're not gonna have a good time dating me because that's all I'm gonna provide. There's always a way. You talking about the door lock, I'm climbing through the vent. There's always a way. So there's a lot of optimism.
Solution oriented.
Solution oriented king. Like I'm the taskmaster of like, let's figure it out. I'm organized. I'm somebody who's structured. I act with urgency. So if you are somebody who doesn't want to act with urgency, I can be annoying.
Okay.
Very annoying.
What's the emotional like? Are you
I'm very sensitive.
Okay.
I'm very sensitive. I'll cry. I'll laugh a lot. I'm always finding the joy. I hold a lot of things in. Like if I see you're going through a tough day, then I won't allow myself to have a tough day. So and then it'll add up, and then like we're on day 4 of me not having a tough day, and you're on day 6 of needing more from me, and I'm ready to blow up and explode. So a lot of times I have to check myself and be like, tough days can coexist. That's something I'm still working on. I'm usually like, I'm strong for everybody, and there's no like way to let out the steam for me.
Yeah.
Until like 3 a.m, you're like, you're sleeping, you're comfortable, and I'm hiding in the bathroom or the office, and I'm just like
letting it out.
Yeah. So.
Because I was about to say, like, you can sometimes when you hold things in, it's kind of like that one straw that breaks the camel's back, right? And it can be the smallest thing. And I do want to counter, because while it is important to show up for your partner and to be that support, like you have to be able to express exactly and express your feelings and your emotions. Like you have to find that balance to
oftentimes it's my fault. I feel like I'm not allowed to have feelings. And I've had partners who say, yeah, cry, do what you need to do. But when they start talking about their stuff, they just feel like there's so much that they need like help with. I'm like, there's no space for me to have mine.
Like it's kind of like mine is so small compared to like what you're going through. With the experience of like crying to your partners and being vulnerable, like did you find like that usually like when y'all argue, it comes back?
Give or take. Like there's been both sides. I've had partners who respect me enough to never go there and use the things against me and like weaponize me with my own shit.
Yeah.
And then I've been on the other side where like, oh, you a little bitch.
Yeah.
And but I think you know, both have helped me grow. And you know, now I know like what to look for in a partner. Yeah. I'm like, somebody
what do you look for?
Somebody who is like doing their own thing. Somebody who knows how to be one with themselves. And like, I'm an added bonus to your life, but I'm not like, you know, the thing you need. Like, yeah, you're not codependent on me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to be codependent on you. You're not codependent on me. We can coexist. So I look for like people I can coexist with, people who will challenge me, people who call me out.
Yes.
People who like always want to see me better. And like we operate from the same intent. You want my best intent, I want your best intent. So if it's always a partnership, even when it's ugly, then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And people who don't run because like life's about the difficult.
She's a track star.
Nah, you don't need runners. The thing is, we're only running if we're chasing something. Like I want somebody who's gonna run with me, side by side, pass the baton. I catch my breath. They need to catch their breath. We switching off. That's what it's about. You're gonna have low points. You're gonna have sad seasons. Will Smith talks about Jada crying for 40 days and 40 nights, whatever in the book. And I look at it like, you know, when somebody is looking at you to become their happiness or be their happiness, no one's satisfied.
Yeah.
When somebody says, this person adds to me and can be like a component to my happiness, then we're thriving.
Yeah. So. I completely agree. A lot of us give people the power to control our happiness. And it's like, nah, you should add to my life.
So I'm seeking that. I always seek that. And that's in every relationship, not even just romantic ones. Like, what are you bringing to me? Here's what I'm bringing to you. Let's figure it out together. And be understanding that people are flawed. Yeah. Like one of my closest friends, he showed up late everywhere we went. He was always late to everything. And one of the best things he did for our relationship was start being on time. Now that I know I can rely on him in our friendship, he's somebody I call for everything. We speak now more than we ever spoke before. Sometimes people will pleasantly surprise you. So allow people the space to pleasantly surprise you.
I love that. Wow. I can talk to you all day. Too bad I only have the session for an hour, but if I could, I would.
I love it.
I do want to close out and ask you, what's been on repeat for you? What have you been listening to? And how does it make you feel when you listen to this? Because music is about feeling, right? You want music that feeds your soul.
So I'll tell you first some artists I'm listening to. I'm listening to Safa, Safa. Y'all go check her out. Safa's pretty dope. I'm listening to Mike Mitch. He got an album called Cultivator that's pretty dope. I'm listening to a lot of like BJ the Chicago Kid is one of my favorite singers. I'm listening to a lot of music from Sky Zoo, great rapper from Brooklyn.
You're putting me onto a lot of artists that I've never even heard about.
So it's about to be a good time for you. I'm listening to a lot of Coda the Friend. That's another one of my brothers. I listen to my friends.
Okay.
And then outside of my friends, I listen to a lot of like real R&B records like Brandy, a lot of Jasmine Sullivan, a lot of gospel records. Dion Kipping, his song is my favorite song. It's called I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through. Every time I plug that song, I just do it on purpose because everybody can like hear that song and have a testimony.
Yeah.
So that's a song that I'm big on. Other artists you should check out Alonda Rich. She's a great singer. Rich.
I am literally gonna edit this episode and just be in my notes, like going my iTunes, like searching up these artists, because
but there's so much out there, and it all makes me feel good because these people are either making music that are talking to real stories and things that I'm going through or been through, or it's hopeful music, or it's places I've been that I don't want to go back, and it's a reminder not to go back. So they're all serving a purpose in my life. And even I got this Usher song, yo. Usher's new album. It wasn't an amazingly great album.
Okay.
But he had but he had some joints. They like slept on. He had a joint called Cold Blooded that I liked. No, Stone Cold Freak. That's what it's called. Stone Cold Freak.
Wow,
that joint was my joint. I added that to like the Make Love playlist, So Stone Cold Freak is my joint. Go bump that from Usher. And there's a lot of music out there. That's,
I was gonna say, you listen to a lot of music.
I'm in the car a lot. Like I drive a lot.
You drive a lot.
Drive a lot. I'm New York to New Jersey every day, pretty much. I'm always driving. Always got music on.
That makes sense. I don't really listen to much. I listen to the same things over and over, honestly speaking.
I'm always adding and trying new stuff or clicking new stuff, or because like discovery is important. Like the same way, like discover new foods.
Yeah.
So food.
That's what I like to do. I like to eat.
You like Ethiopian?
I love Ethiopian food. The injera.
Yeah.
They have a lot of vegan
Come on,
options.
yes.
It's like,
so I do Ethiopian quite frequently ever since I started eating it. The last month I've had Ethiopian like 4 times.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You're in the Ethiopian stage right now. I'm embarrassed.
I'm good with my hands, Good with my hands.
I'm embarrassed to tell you what I've been listening to because my music catalog just
what you got? What's your like go-to song? Oh, Yeah Glow. Yeah Glow. That's my gym song. Yeah Glow is my gym song.
So you know what's my gym song? And like my her song, Okay by JT.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Like every time I'm in a mood, I just put that on and it just like reminds me of who I am, right? It's the ego. It's all feeds my ego. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. But on repeat, it's so funny. I was at Last Lap. Shout out to this bar on the Lower East Side. That's my spot. And they played Planes by Jeremiah and J. Cole.
Okay.
I love J. Cole. Love him. And Jeremiah is very underrated. Like his voice is.
He's a great writer, great producer.
Yeah.
He's slept on. He's dope. Jeremiah's been dope since he came out.
I know.
Like he learned to step to the back a little bit and make others dope. Same thing with like Hitmaker.
Dream also.
Yep, Dream.
Yes.
Yeah. But you always know a Dream song when you hear it.
You do.
But like a Jeremiah song is so rich. You don't know if it's always him. I think he's great with his pen.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dope out.
And the voice too, right? So 2014, I used to listen to that song religiously. I worked with some friends and we would like just blast that. So when it came on at the bar, I was like, yo, like this is
It took you back, right?
Yeah. And like really took me back because I got pregnant in 2015 with my daughter. Okay. So it took me back to like a good 2 years of, those friendships with those people. And now it's just been on repeat. And like J. Cole kills his verse and I love J. Cole.
You're about to have a 10-year-old. That's all I'm
Please do not.
Yo, you blessed. You about to have a 10-year-old. Yeah.
Soon in 2 years. But yeah.
It's right there.
I know it flies.
Right there.
It flies. So that's what's been on repeat for me. And it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy.
You just reminded me, I seen a meme the other day. Some lady said she got pregnant to Jim Jones balling.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yo, you probably from the Bronx. And
definitely is.
I said, you got to be from Uptown. And I said, the other part of that, what kind of night were you having where like, you said, yeah, bust my shit open to Jim Jones. Like,
ball that nut. Bust that nut.
When you said that, you said it took me back, and it took me back to that meme. I was like, yo.
Or she could be from Harlem too.
Yeah, but
because Jim Jones is from Harlem.
That's rough though. Like, bust my shit open to ballin'. Like what?
Like what?
That's my song.
She wanted to fly high. She felt like we're about to have rich sex.
Nah, I could picture it now. You in the motel with the mirrors on the ceiling.
Why you know what a motel look like?
I'm saying we all had better versions of ourselves now. There was a time when you could only afford what you could afford.
That's a fact.
We not above those days. Those days made us who we are today.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
But you know what I was talking about. So we was all there at some point.
I seen them in the amateur porn.
we was all. You heard it, y'all. We was all there at some point.
I'm crying.
Y'all learned something new about your host.
Hold me accountable. No.
Yo, we all lived a life.
Listen, Ace, not only are you a father, philanthropist, author, musician, clearly you're a comedian because
look what I bring out. I bring out the best in people.
You really do. You really do. Let them know where they can find you, your music, like promote yourself.
I'm Ace Clark, y'all. Brooklyn cat. Ace Clark Music is where you can find the music at. You can also look for Infinite Ethos. That's a collective I'm a part of. You can also look for Dear Black Boy Affirmations.
Listen.
Dear Black Boy Affirmations.
Hold your book up.
Come on. Or you can catch me at a school near you. I'm in schools all the time talking to the youth, donating this book. If you go to the link in my bio on IG, you can help me donate more books because I'm just trying to spread love the Brooklyn way, the human way.
Yeah.
Love y'all. Peace.
Oh, he's so positive. You inspire me to be more positive, honestly speaking, and to lead with more consideration for others. Not therapy. I'm about to cry.
This was reflective for me too. Allows me to see where I'm at. It's all, like you said, full circle. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about stuff I haven't talked about on a lot of different podcasts or spaces because the questions don't come up.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking the time to be thoughtful in your question asking.
Shout out to my producer.
Yeah.
How I keep shouting out my producer.
The screening, all the things that happen before the episodes happen, they really speak to your dedication and the way you really want to be intentional with conversation. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason you don't, want to have small talk. And I think that's really dope. So I think, hold on to some of that and also make room for a little small talk.
I will do that.
And the world will be, a more Z place.
Thank you for that. Oh, that was so nice. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
It was my absolute pleasure, and you will be back, okay?
I got it because you got to rap, so.
I got to rap. He gonna hold me accountable, y'all, and I'm gonna stick to my word. In the meantime, check out his music. Go buy the book, okay? Buy it for a son, buy it for a brother, buy it for a cousin, buy it for a friend, buy it for your daddy.
Buy it for a partner.
Ooh.
If they wall is still up, buy them the book.
I agree.
It's exclusively at Barnes & Noble or the link in my bio on IG. Come find us. Come to a show. Come check us out somewhere.
Listen, yes, I got to come to one of your shows. You got to send me the stuff. We are locked in.
We locked in.
I'm going to support now. You. Exactly.
What's up, cousin?
It's reciprocated.
Nah, it's cousins out here. It's family out here. Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure. Honesties, I will see you all next week. Like, comment, share, subscribe, baby. And tell a friend to check out Ace Clark. Okay, yeah. On that note, I gotta say goodbye. Peace.